prochain guest. Je crois que vous savez c'est qui va arriver.
Oui.
Soit c'est un rêve de le rencontrer, ou soit c'est un cauchemar, je sais pas.
Rêve.
Ça fait un peu peur.
C'est un rêve.
Donc mesdames et messieurs, start your round of applause. Start your round of applause. Round of applause. Commencez à... Mettez vos téléphones off, vous ne pouvez pas applaudir. Fucking a round of applause. Please, keep it going. And welcome to the stage, Robert Englund. He's coming. He's coming. He's around the corner. Il est juste en dehors. Il va arriver. Robert, allez, grouille-toi. Putain la merde. Allez, il est là. Il est là. Il est là. Il arrive. Robert Englund. Welcome.
You're all my children now.
You're all my children now. That was both
You're all my brats.
Beautiful and frightening. Vous êtes tous mes enfants. Robert, how are you?
I'm very good, and I just want to say I think this is a new show, and it's a great show, and how wonderful it is that we're all here in Paris, the City of Light, for Easter.
It's nice.
It's a great thing. And also, I just wanted to mention 2 projects that my European fans might not know about, especially for the young people here. I have an animated television series called Curses on Apple TV Plus, and it has a great theme. It's produced by DreamWorks, that's Steven Spielberg's company. And I really recommend it to all the young people I see around here, especially today on a Sunday.
Donc il a une série animation, dessin animé je crois, il fait la voix, ça s'appelle Cursed en anglais, donc je suis pas sûr ça va être quoi le titre en français, et c'est sur Apple TV. Will it be on Apple TV in Europe, yes?
I hope so. For me, when I come, it's all I ever see is Rai Uno and Sky Channel. No,
okay,
but
so,
yeah, I think so. I believe so. Yeah, Apple TV Plus.
But that was one project you mentioned. You said that you had 2. You mentioned 2 projects.
Yes, for my horror fans, I have a fresh little low-budget, independent horror movie. Danielle Harris from Halloween stars with me. It's called Natty, like Nathalie. Natty Knox. And it's a great Halloween film. So check it out again this October.
Maddie Knox.
Natty.
Natty.
Like Natalie.
Like Natalie.
Natty is the nickname for Natalie.
Okay. Natty Knox.
Yes.
Donc Natty frappe, peut-être que ça va être la traduction, je suis pas sûr. C'est un film, c'est un petit budget, mais c'est avec lui et une autre personnage de Halloween. What was her name?
Natalie, Natty, but
Halloween.
Danielle Harris.
Danielle Harris from Halloween.
Who you all know, she's been in many movies. But yeah, it's a kind of retro feel, and I think the audiences will like it.
Good. Is it safe to say that you are a master of horror? And potentially the master of horror?
No, I did a television series for Showtime, and it was called Masters of Horror. But I'm in the room, but I'm in the room with the real masters. Karloff, Lugosi, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and the great directors. But I've worked with some of the contemporary greats, Wes Craven and Tobe Hooper.
Right, he's the one that directed the first Elm Street and quite a few. Wes Craven's.
He wrote part 3.
Part 3.
And he directed part 7.
Okay.
And part 1.
Yeah, what was that like to work with Wes Craven?
Wes is like the fanboys here. Wes is very smart, very tall. He looked kind of like Don Quixote in the drawings we all see in school. But he kept the inner child alive inside.
Donc Wes Craven, c'est celui qui a réalisé les films avec Freddy Krueger, mais aussi Scream et tout ça. Enfin, c'est un maître de l'horreur. Et j'ai demandé en fait, c'était comment de travailler avec lui. Mais aussi, je disais que Robert Englund, c'est un maître de l'horreur. C'est un maître, mais il était un peu humble et il vous dit non, j'ai travaillé avec des maîtres, mais c'est un maître quand même. You are nonetheless a master of horror from our perspective.
Well, thank you. Maybe we should do a Q&A.
Absolutely.
Do we have questions?
Y a-t-il des questions? I would like to ask you one question as well. What is the relation between horror and comedy?
I think if you introduce comedy into a horror film and the audience laughs, you give them an opportunity to laugh, they release that tension that they have from being afraid, and so you can set them up and scare them again.
Right, okay, that's
Makes
nice.
it easier.
Yeah, it kind of does work, right? So it's like
It gives them a release, gives the audience a release, and then you can get them and scare them again.
Je voulais savoir la relation entre l'horreur et la comédie et l'humour, et comment est-ce que ça marche ensemble. Et il disait que si tu donnes l'opportunité au public ou aux téléspectateurs de rigoler, ça sort toute la tension qu'ils ont créée, et tout d'un coup, bam, tu sors avec un peu d'effrayance. Bam, right corner. Y a-t-il des questions pour Monsieur Robert Englund?
Bonjour. Je voulais savoir, est-ce qu'il aimerait faire une série par rapport à Freddy, les origines, c'est-à-dire dès la grossesse de sa mère, voilà, et son enfance sûrement dure, et les premiers meurtres en fait, ce qu'il a fait aux enfants avant d'en arriver aux griffes de la nuit. Ouais.
Would you be interested in working on a series to know the origins of Freddy Krueger, but before he became Freddy Krueger, as in like the OG stories, his relationship with his mother and all that sort of stuff, and those early murders that he committed? Would that be something that interested you?
Well, I certainly think that at any time, that's a great idea for a film. The prequel to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ben oui, ça serait une opportunité. What would your role be? Because I'm guessing you've aged a little bit since.
Well, I don't know how I would participate. Probably a cameo role, but the idea of a prequel. There are some scripts floating around Hollywood, and they've showed slight prequels in the pilot for the television series, Freddy's Nightmares. But I think that there's a huge audience for maybe a film about Freddy's childhood.
And would you want to have a say in its development? Because it's your baby in a way.
I've already done a couple of scripts,
okay,
and they haven't come to fruition. But I do believe that a film of Freddy's childhood would be a good idea.
Donc il y a déjà des textes en fait à Hollywood qui suggèrent l'idée de faire ça. Il y en a pas juste un, il y en a quelques-uns déjà, et ça serait une bonne idée. Il jouerait pas Freddy, hein, mais peut-être un caméo, quelque chose, ça serait sympa. Et ben voilà quoi. Donc oui, ça serait une super idée en fait.
The other idea I have for a film is Freddy versus the Master of Ceremonies.
I don't think I'd do very well.
No.
I would be quite scared of your, you.
Another question, I think.
Oui.
Hello, lovely to meet you. First of all, thank you for Freddy Krueger, because it's the first horror film I ever saw and it still sticks with me today. It's fantastic. And so my question is, what's your favourite line in the whole movie that you say?
Well, in Freddy versus Jason, I have a very nasty line that I like, which is, I think it's, "Don't worry, princess. The first time tends to get a little messy."
Ça sera dur à traduire, et surtout parce que j'ai pas sa voix, mais c'est Don't Worry Princess. Bon, c'était quoi la ligne?
The first time tends to get a little messy.
Donc, ne t'inquiète pas, princesse. La première fois, généralement, c'est un peu messy.
And now, if the parents will put their hands on their children's ears.
Les enfants, vous n'avez pas le droit d'écouter maintenant. Là.
All you responsible parents, the line that I came up with in part 3 Dream Warriors that I've signed 100 times today over there. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Une autre question, oui monsieur.
Rebonjour Robert.
Bonjour. Bonsoir.
J'aimerais savoir si vous savez pourquoi la série télé Les Cauchemars de Freddy n'est pas encore sortie ni en DVD ni en Blu-ray. Freddy's Nightmares.
There are bootlegs.
Bootlegs, c'est les DVD pirates. Ouais.
And I've signed. There's several episodes that are available, but not the complete series. I think they used episodes with famous directors like Mick Garris and famous actors like Brad Pitt and like Mariska Hargitay.
Cool. Donc, ouais, il y a en fait des pirates et tout ça, mais c'est pas disponible. Yes.
Hello, my question is, when you played for the first time in Nightmare on Elm Street, did you know that it would become that famous?
No, we knew we were making good movies, but we never expected that 40 years later, people would still be discovering these films. I think part of it is we struck gold when we became part of the video revolution.
Donc, non, la question c'était est-ce qu'il savait que ça allait avoir tellement de succès? Et non, il savait pas du tout. Mais une des choses qui s'est passée, c'est pendant que les vidéos sortaient, c'était là où il avait plus de succès en fait. C'était the new technology, la nouvelle technologie de VHS en fait. It was VHS times or Betamax?
VHS and then DVD.
So,
and then Blu-ray, etc., etc.
Donc avec le succès de VHS en fait, c'est pour ça que ça a grandi en quelque chose qu'il n'aurait pas vu. Il n'avait pas vu. Yes. Someone dressed like you.
Nice sweater.
Yeah, I'm just a copycat, sorry. I would like to know what you think about the Rob movies, and if you'd like to play for Rob Zombie, for example.
What do you think of the Rob Zombie movies, and would you like to collaborate with him?
Well, I like Rob Zombie a lot, and I love his films and I'll tell a story. Can I tell a story?
Please do.
I'll stop for you to fill in.
Okay.
I'm going to work with Kane Hodder as a favor, who plays Jason, and the movie directed by Adam Green was a horror movie, and I'm going out where they make all the cowboy movies.
Donc il va travailler avec le comédien qui a joué Jason, et il va à un endroit où ils font tous les films pour western et les cowboys et tout ça. Donc il conduit là-bas.
And I look to my side and I see this beautiful, sexy teenage girl with red hair and cut-off jeans, smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer and leaning against a little Volkswagen.
Donc il est en train de conduire et juste à côté il y a une belle fille avec des cheveux roux et elle est en train de fumer une cigarette et elle est juste comme ça sur la voiture, une Volkswagen quoi.
And it's nasty Lindsay Lohan. She doesn't want to be in any more Disney movies.
Et tout d'un coup il réalise que c'est Lindsay Lohan et elle veut pas être dans des films en dehors de Disney quoi.
And so I drive further into the old cowboy country behind Hollywood.
So repeat that first sentence.
And so I drive further into the old cowboy locations of old Hollywood.
Donc il continue à conduire deeper and deeper, plus à l'intérieur de vieux Hollywood.
And I see a catering truck, a food truck, in the middle of nowhere.
Et il voit un camion, le camion pour, qui donne à manger, tu sais, qui font à manger.
And lined up for lunch are 50 women dressed like whores, prostitutes.
et dans la queue, il y a environ 50 femmes qui sont tous habillées comme des prostituées.
And they're making a Rob Zombie movie.
Et ils sont tous en train de faire un film de Rob Zombie.
Rob, bring to get those whores over here.
Et donc il dit, ouais, amène les prostituées vers moi. C'est bizarre à traduire.
I drove a little further, and there was Kane Hodder and Tony Todd.
Donc il y avait le comédien qui jouait Jason et Tony
Candyman. And I had lunch, and I got ready to work, and I didn't have to wear makeup like Kane Hodder. And I didn't get to eat with the whores.
Et donc il n'a pas eu de chance en fait de manger avec toutes les prostituées. C'est très triste. Mais that was your closest time working with Wes?
Rob Zombie knows how to live. Whores for lunch.
Horse for lunch. Oui.
So anyway, thank you so much for coming here. And so, as we all know, there are quite a few Freddy films, plus the TV series, plus the remake. Of all the Freddy content out there, what was your favourite to make, and then your favourite to watch? Thank you.
What was your favorite movie to make out of all the like Freddy Krueger ones, right? All the Nightmare on Elm Street. So which one was your favorite one to make, and which one was your favorite to watch? Lequel préféré film qu'il a créé dans le monde de Freddy Krueger est le préféré à regarder?
Wes Craven's New Nightmare. 7. Yeah. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I was usually done with work around 1 in the afternoon.
Donc normalement il a fini à environ 1h de l'après-midi.
Because of the child actor in the film, they had to use him in the afternoon.
Ouais, il y a un enfant en fait qui travaille avec et il y a des règles en fait, donc tu finis tôt.
Because the little shit had to go to Hollywood school.
Parce que le petit con il devait aller à l'école d'Hollywood.
So I would take my makeup off, and being an actor, we love a free meal.
Et donc il enlève son maquillage et bien sûr en tant que comédien on adore manger gratuitement.
So I would sit down and have a late lunch with the crew.
Et donc il s'assit avec l'équipe et il mange avec eux en fait.
And John Saxon would show up. John Saxon was also in Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Donc John Saxon il arrive, il est aussi dans le film Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
And I knew John pretty well now. We'd been here together on publicity, and I'd done 3 movies with him.
Donc il le connaît bien, il a déjà fait des films avec lui, il a fait de la publicité, il est même venu à Comic-Con en France ou en Europe.
We would sit down for lunch together. I wasn't working anymore. I would have a nice chilled Chardonnay.
Donc il devait pas travailler, il est relax, il a un petit verre de vin, un Chardonnay.
And John told me stories, all his stories about the moment of time of old Hollywood and new Hollywood.
Et donc John lui raconte toutes les histoires de New Hollywood, mais vieux Hollywood. Vieux Hollywood, c'est quand toutes les choses sont cachées derrière les portes, tu vois.
I was getting the best gossip from the horse's mouth.
Et donc il entendait plein d'histoires que généralement sont cachées, du gossip.
Starting with stories about Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon.
Donc il y a une première histoire, c'est à propos de Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon.
Marlon Brando in the Appaloosa.
Marlon Brando dans l'Appaloosa.
Hanging out with James Dean.
Et il est aussi avec James Dean, c'est relax.
Dating Natalie Wood.
Un rencard avec Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood, the famous movie star. Having Audrey Hepburn for a leading lady.
Et il a travaillé avec Audrey Hepburn, qui était un leading lady.
Being directed by everybody from John Huston to Quentin Tarantino.
Donc, il a travaillé avec plein de réalisateurs, from John Huston to Quentin Tarantino.
John Saxon starred in Robert Redford's first movie.
Et il a travaillé dans le film de
Robert Redford,
le premier film de Robert Redford.
And everything in between. Clint Eastwood, Robert Duvall, everybody. And it was just this great experience for me as an actor to get those stories because now I can share them with you.
Donc une des choses qu'il a adoré, c'était de partager des histoires en fait, avec l'autre comédien. Ça c'était un de ses plaisirs, travailler ensemble, c'était se raconter des histoires, les folles choses qui se passent, surtout à Hollywood.
Oral history. Oral history.
Oral history, donc les histoires qu'on se raconte par bouche, quoi, c'est avant Internet et tout ça, donc c'était
next
plaisir.
question.
Right, next question, yes. Petite question, approchez-vous.
Hello. I was wondering, you and Wes Craven created one of the most legendary boogeyman. But walking into this role, did Wes Craven have a really specific idea of what he wanted, or was he open to ideas from you? What did you bring at the beginning?
Wes Craven is responsible for the success of this incredible franchise.
Wes Craven, il est responsable pour le succès de cette franchise.
But he and the producers were nervous about the makeup.
Et la production était nerveux à propos du maquillage.
And they kept fussing with it.
Donc ils faisaient plein de petits changements et tout ça.
And they got desperate and they decided to change the hat that Freddy wore.
Et donc dans un moment de désespération, ils ont décidé de changer le chapeau que Freddy a.
So I walk in this room just before we shot the movie.
Et donc il rentre juste avant qu'il commence à shooter le film.
And there's Wes Craven and the producer.
Il y a Wes Craven, le producteur.
And a box full of chapeaux, hats.
Et une boîte plein de hats.
All different. And they make me put them all on.
Et ils ont essayé plein de chapeaux sur Robert Englund.
Now, picture this. I'm in full makeup as Freddy Krueger.
Donc il est en maquillage comme Freddy Krueger.
I have the sweater on and the slacks.
Et il a le costume et tout ça.
And they're putting all these different hats on me. Caps like that, like a paperboy cap.
Il essayait même des chapeaux comme ça en fait, ouais.
Baseball hats. Straw hats. And they're all wrong. And I went, whoa. No. I said, Wes, in your mind's eye, when you created Freddy, you knew the fedora was the right hat.
Tu sais, il essaye plein de chapeaux et il dit mais non, c'est ridicule, rien marche. Et il a dit à Wes, écoutez, quand tu imagines Freddy, tu sais le look, quoi, c'est un fedora.
Because I could hide my eyes.
Comme ça, il peut cacher ses yeux.
I knew how great the bald, disfigured head looked.
Et il savait à quel point c'était un bon look d'avoir été tout brûlé, quoi, brûlé et rasé.
And I knew as an actor how cool it would be to reveal that head. You know?
Et vous avez compris. I don't think I need to translate that much, you know. I feel like I'm at the UN before a horror movie. I think la plupart d'entre vous parlez anglais? Vous comprenez anglais? Yes. Yeah, I think you can go for it, man. You can go for the flow.
Anyway, the hat also looked great in silhouette, in shadow on a wall. And I showed that to Wes and the producer, and I got that. So the two things I contributed to Wes Craven as Freddy were I fought for the hat and I brought the physicality, the way I moved.
Donc la chose qu'il a vraiment collaboré avec Wes Craven, mais qui est venue de lui, c'était non seulement la physicalité, mais c'était aussi le chapeau. Donc le chapeau, c'est Robert Englund.
At the end of the first week, I had the glove, and it weighed a lot, and I'd be walking around, and it made me drop my shoulder a little bit. I just put my weight on my right side because I had the glove on all the time. I had to be careful not to pick my nose. I had to be careful when I went to the bathroom.
Do I need to translate?
No. But I was walking, and I looked in a mirror, and I saw the claw, and my shoulder, my right shoulder dropped, and I went, that looks cool. That's how Freddy should stand. And I said, what does it remind me of? What's it make me think of? And I went, gunfighter. So I just had that image in my mind. I'd put the glove on, and instead of going, ooh, I thought of cowboy, gunfighter. And that's where I got the posture for Freddy. Very simple, but that's how actors work.
Yeah, I mean, so essentially you allowed the costume to
dictate.
Give you a little
If I'm doing a Molière, if I'm doing a play by Molière, a French play, I have lace cuffs on my shirt. Lots of lace. And so, if I'm acting and I have that lace, I have to bring my hands up. That's why people move like this. And if I have the high heels that men wore back then in 17th and 18th century France, and I sit, I have to sit like this because I have the tights and I have the heels and I have the lace. If I'm having a drink, I have to hold it like this to keep the lace on my sleeve from being in my drink. So many times the wardrobe, the costume dictates how you move.
Ah ouais, en fait, donc, quand un comédien crée un personnage, le costume raconte beaucoup pour nous, en fait. Parce que si, par exemple, le gant était tellement lourd que naturellement, il était comme ça, et quand il bougeait, il avait un petit peu, un peu plus lourd de ce côté-là. Donc, le costume, ça influence beaucoup la fabrication du personnage. Y a-t-il des questions, mademoiselle?
What was your favorite kill in the whole Freddy franchise?
My favorite kill. Tina on the ceiling. And the boy with the hearing aid in part 6. Pump up the volume. You know. Because it's politically incorrect and Freddy is politically incorrect.
I mean, that's the beauty. Like, Freddy, il disait des choses qui vraiment n'étaient pas acceptables, mais c'était ça la joie de regarder ce personnage qui était immonde. It was a beautiful play between horror and comedy. I mean, it was.
Yeah, he likes Freddy. Freddy likes his work, and he likes to tease. He likes to tease his victims like a cat with a mouse.
Un peu comme c'est un chat et une souris, quoi. Il y a une autre question. Yes, yes.
Bonjour. Je voulais savoir ce qu'il se pensait du cinéma d'horreur actuel, ce qu'il en pensait en fait du cinéma d'horreur actuel, ce qui sort récemment comme Terrifier ou autre.
What do you find? How do you find horror films in the current day and age?
I think there's some amazing new work out there, from Europe, from Japan, from Latin America, and from the US. I wouldn't want to live in a world without Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Donc il y a plein de beaux films d'horreur de plein de pays, Europe, Japon et tout ça, et il voudrait pas vivre dans un monde sans le film de Jordan Peele's Get Out. What did you find about Get Out that was so moving?
The film is great because it's taken. It's mining, it's digging into a whole new area we're not using, which is individual cultures, folk tales. So they took an African folk tale and put it into contemporary American with our problems with racism. But think of all the great folk tales, not just Germany and the Brothers Grimm, but think there must be folk tales in Poland and Czechoslovakia and in the Balkans, and there must be French fairy tales that you know about, that when you're a child you read about them, that are dark, but no one has exploited it yet as a dark little horror film.
Je sais pas comment on dit le mot fairy tales en français. Les contes de fées, merci. Donc en fait, les contes de fées, il y en a partout dans le monde. Et Jordan Peele, il a trouvé un endroit de contes de fées africains et il l'a mélangé avec la culture américaine et la politique américaine et tout ça. Et donc c'était ça, il y avait un nouveau goût en fait. Et c'est ça qui inspire Robert Englund, c'est trouver les contes de fées dans des autres cultures et créer des films avec ça, quoi. Donc ça serait...
I love Midsummer
Oh, this sounds great. Ari Aster, yeah.
The Witch with Anna Taylor-Joy. Yeah. Megan.
I like Megan as well.
I like Megan. I know her too. She's wonderful. You guys should invite her to the show next year. She's wonderful. Just a delightful little actress.
It was beautiful. It was proper Uncanny Valley.
What's the one with the Swedish actress that also plays a female robot? I can't remember. A couple of years ago. Anyway.
Ex Machina? No.
Yes. Ex Machina. But good stuff. Good smart sci-fi. Dark horror sci-fi.
Il aime bien les science-fiction qui sont un peu obscures, dark, mais aussi intelligents. So do you like to explore the sort of philosophical realms and
I like all kinds. But speaking of philosophical, I've been watching Constellation, the new show Constellation with Noomi Rapace, but very philosophical. Do we have another question?
Une autre question, oui.
I want to know, where is the original glove?
Oh wait, here's my best French. Déjà vu. Okay. I've been here before. I'm sorry. I had to do that.
So where is the original gloves from Nightmare 1?
The original glove?
Yes.
My late agent left it in his office, and that's where it resides with his widow and his children. I was doing what we call in Hollywood pickup shots. Yeah. I was after finishing Nightmare 2, I was doing pickup shots, little insert shots, Freddy's hand coming around a door, things like that.
Donc le gant était avec son agent, qui est maintenant plus avec nous, mais donc le gant est avec la famille. Et il y avait un moment quand il filmait Nightmare 2, il devait faire plein de pick-up shots. Donc c'est quand on coupe le film ensemble et on a besoin d'un petit gant, ou on a besoin c'est les pick-up shots, c'est les petites choses, tu vois.
And there was a rumor that there was some industrial espionage afoot, and that some fans were going to try to steal some props.
Donc il y avait une rumeur sur le plateau que apparemment quelqu'un voulait voler quelques objets du film.
Now remember, at this moment of time, there's only one Nightmare movie out, the original. The second one has been shot, but it's not released yet.
Donc pendant cette époque, il n'y avait qu'un film qui était sorti, et le deuxième, il vient juste de finir tourner. Donc c'était pas encore...
And so I just took the glove home. Now the glove that I used that day had been donated by Wes Craven.
Donc le gant qu'il avait utilisé, il l'a pris avec lui, et Wes Craven, il l'avait donated.
It was the original Hero glove.
C'était l'original, the Hero glove. C'était le...
I put it in his shoebox and put it in my closet and forgot about it.
Il l'avait mis dans son tiroir et il l'a oublié.
Years later, when I was very successul in the franchise, I gave it to my agent.
Et donc, quand il avait plein de succès, parce qu'il l'avait oublié, il savait pas que c'était important, et quand tout d'un coup il y avait plein de succès, pour dire merci à son agent, c'est pour ça qu'il l'avait donné à son agent.
Stupid me. I stuffed it with cotton, and I put red and green neon around it, and it was floating in a plexiglass box.
Et donc il l'a bien présenté en fait, il avait mis du coton dans le glove, donc on dirait vraiment une main, et c'était dans une belle boîte et tout ça, avec des lumières.
And that's where it is and how it is today at the home of my late agent.
Et donc c'est avec la famille de l'agent. 2 more questions? How are we feeling?
Yes.
Yeah? Mademoiselle?
Do.
Hi, I have a question about makeup. How many hours did it take, and do you have a story about that? Thank you.
The makeup, Freddy. I would love you to think that the Freddy makeup is the most difficult makeup I've ever worn.
J'aimerais bien que vous pensiez que le maquillage c'était le plus dur que lui il a eu dans sa carrière.
And it takes 3.5 hours to be ready.
3h30 environ.
But I did a more intense makeup in Phantom of the Opera.
Mais dans Phantom of the Opera, c'était encore pire.
4 hours.
4 heures.
Because of the hair.
À cause des cheveux.
And because half of my face, Phantom of the Opera, is dead skin of my victims covering my deformity.
Donc c'était la moitié de son visage et c'était une sorte de peau de tous ces meurtres en fait, de toutes ces victimes.
And because you don't shoot a movie in continuity, we never knew if I had to reveal that or not, so I had to put both layers on.
Et parce qu'on filme pas généralement en ordre, on savait pas combien de victimes il avait en fait, et donc il devait faire presque 2 fois, il devait mettre le masque sans, avec moins de peau et après plus de peau. Et...
Then I did Stephen King's The Mangler.
Stephen King's The Mangler.
And 5 hours. Because I combined age makeup, an old neck, old earlobes, a fake brow, and a big old nose. But then my cheeks were stretched, and they put something on them, and I'd let them go, and then they had all the wrinkles that you see now.
Et donc la fabrication du maquillage qu'il a dans le film de Stephen King, ça a pris plein de temps parce que c'était plus délicat en fait. C'était avec les oreilles, le cou, et il y avait une façon de mettre du maquillage sur ses cheeks, ses joues, et le tirer comme ça quand ça ressort, c'est plein de rides.
5 hours, plus and hair. So I don't complain. And then I also did Stranger Things, and I couldn't see. So that was a rough makeup. But I was in London, outside of London at a show, Milton Keynes, you know the Milton Keynes show, and Showmasters, and I was in a pub with one of the actors who played the General Orc in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, donc il était dans un pub à Milton Keynes et il était avec un comédien qui jouait le général Orc dans Lord of the Rings.
If they had to be on the set, ready at 9 in the morning, their makeup call was 2 a.m.
Donc s'il devait être prêt sur le plateau à 9h du mat, il devait être dans la chaise du maquillage à environ 2 heures.
7 hours. So I'm not, I can't brag. But maybe I've worn makeup longer than anyone else. Freddy, 8 movies. The television series, 44 episodes, plus my other makeup roles.
Et donc peut-être qu'il n'est pas dans la chaise le plus longtemps que, disons, General Orc, mais il a eu du maquillage sur son visage presque toute sa vie, presque toute sa carrière. Tu sais, il a fait toutes les séries de Freddy, et les films et tout ça.
Plus, I'm wearing makeup right now. You're too easy. You're too easy. One more
question.
The last question.
Make it good.
Hi, thanks to be here. I do it in French. Quel personnage il aurait aimé jouer s'il n'avait pas fait Freddy, et quel acteur pourrait le remplacer dans le futur?
What kind of character would you have enjoyed playing if Freddy had never come into your life? And what actor would you like to see replace you when Freddy gets a revival in that?
I'll answer the last part first.
Okay.
I was at a show like this, very similar, a couple of years ago, and I heard from the fans that spend much more time on the internet than I do, that they were considering Kevin, I'm forgetting his name, Stir of Echoes. What? Kevin Bacon. They were considering Kevin Bacon. Now, Kevin is a little bit taller than me, but he's very physical, and he respects horror, tremors, stir of echoes. So I like that idea. It's not my idea, but I think he would be a great guy. But he has a new hit show in America, so I don't know if he'd be available. But he's young enough, and he's such a wonderful physical actor that I think he would understand that Freddy's not in reality. He's in the dream. He's on the dreamscape. He's in your mind. So Freddy dances a little bit, you know.
And Kevin Bacon was in Footloose.
He's moving a little differently than reality in the world that you're dreaming.
Donc une idée qui n'était pas son idée, c'était les fans qui se parlaient sur Internet, c'était Kevin Bacon. Et une des raisons que lui il aime bien l'idée, c'est que premièrement Kevin il est assez jeune pour jouer Freddy, mais il a aussi du rythme, il sait comment danser, enfin il était dans le film Footloose, donc il a du rythme et tout ça, mais aussi il a Kevin Bacon adore les films d'horreur et il a du respect pour l'horreur. Tu sais, il a fait les films comme Tremors et il y a aussi celui où tu sais quand tu es mort là. C'est quoi le film?
What was the first part?
Yeah,
what was the first part of his question?
The first part of the question. Oh, what character would you have liked to play if you never got to play Freddy?
I did almost exclusively comedy when I was a theater actor, stage actor.
Donc avant tout ça, quand il faisait du théâtre, c'était juste humour, comédie.
But in Hollywood, I became the best friend, the buddy, the pal, the sidekick.
Et à Hollywood, quand il jouait des rôles, c'était toujours le sidekick, celui qui est avec le grand, mais pas.
They keep changing you as you age and change. You know, the typecasting. I'm not sure. I think if it was back in Hollywood of the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Donc dans les 30 et 40 de Hollywood, c'est 1930 et quelque chose.
I would have been happy to have stayed the sidekick because in those years, older men could play the sidekicks.
Il aurait bien voulu rester en fait un sidekick.
Now they're all younger. They want the sidekick to be younger, the best friend, the pal. He's usually younger. And so that's why I'm very lucky that I became loyal to the horror genre.
Et maintenant, les sidekicks, généralement, ils sont toujours jeunes et tout ça, mais quand il avait commencé, il pouvait être vieux et c'est quelque chose qu'il aurait bien voulu faire.
I'm too old now, but I would have loved, I understudied this role. I'm too old now, but I would have loved to have played Iago in William Shakespeare's Othello. What's he then that says I play the villain?
It's up to you. We've got a little bit of time and we can leave.
Is it?
It's time to go.
Is it bonsoir?
It's bonsoir, mais peut-être une autre question.
It's Easter. I'm good. I think we've had a good discussion today.
Bon ben, voilà.
And these people have to go home for family dinners.
C'est l'heure de rentrer. But did you all have a good time? Yeah! Any parting words from you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.